20 was bad. Let's just put it that way. It was very rough. This 20, way better.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, definitely. I think I ate right in the morning. I fueled right during. Made sure I
Good.
had enough water. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Still not easy, but I am way ahead of where I was 2 weeks ago. That's for sure.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, legs are still sore, but I mean, after 20 miles, that's
Well, that's to be expected.
yeah.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I've never been there. I just know from what I experience with her when she comes back. Or
Yeah, it's not easy, but
yeah, dude.
it's what you do, man.
That's right.
Set a goal for yourself, and the hard
So
things don't come easy. That's for
no
sure.
shit. No, takes work, man. So I'm representing my Nate Diaz shirt here. Baddest mother
Right
right
on,
there.
man.
Because this August 5th, he's got a boxing match coming up with Jake Paul, man.
I heard.
Yeah,
That'll be
pretty.
fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for that, man.
Yeah, those Paul boys are gonna find out what it means to be a warrior in that one.
Definitely. I was thinking about that before we kicked this off. I was watching a trailer, the promotion for it, and I don't know what Jake like his strategy is going to be because a lot of people have come out fast against Diaz, but he can take a beating and keep on
He just
going
goes. Yeah, he's a
all
machine.
day
He's just
long.
out there. And we've talked about this before, I think. It's just he's one of those fighters who's out there to just have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure this one's a payday for him, but
Oh, I
like
would
he's
imagine. Yeah,
literally out there because he enjoys it,
he's got money,
you know.
man. He did his thing.
Yep.
He did, and in my opinion, he is the baddest. They just had the UFC event last night in 291. They just had the match for that between Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier,
Oh, yeah.
and Justin Gaethje won. I like both of them, but I think I wanted Poirier to win.
Okay.
So George Masvidal was there and handed over the vacant BMF belt because him and Nate ain't gonna do the rematch, obviously,
Right.
because he's not with the UFC anymore. But I don't know, man. Yeah, I would have loved to see him run that back UFC 244. That's where this shirt came from. And that was a great. I got the poster because it was a big deal. That was the first time ever. The Rock handed out the belt. He was there. Trump was in the audience. I mean, it was a good fight card.
Yeah. No, that makes it fun, man, when you got, like we talked about before, there's only a few guys left that are of the OG. Well, I shouldn't say OG, but more of the before it became super mainstream.
Yeah,
There's only a few fighters left,
yeah.
and I think the Diaz boys are some of them, and yeah.
There's not too many. I know George St. Pierre. He's gonna do a jiu-jitsu match with, I believe, Damian Maya. I could be wrong,
Ooh, nice.
which that would be interesting
Yeah,
because
that'd
George
be fun.
retired. We talked about him too.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just been on this kick. I've been wanting to watch some of the best of videos. I have a few of them, and it brings back good memories. I remember one of the first fights that my dad and I got together. It was UFC 117, and it was Chael Sonnen versus Anderson Silva. And Chael Sonnen, man, was the best shit talker
Dude,
ever.
he was good that fight too.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna win. Everybody
Mhm.
thought he was gonna win, and then Anderson Silva caught him at the end, made him tap,
Yep.
caught him with the triangle.
But and that's the thing is well, and here's another thing too. Even if that went to the cards, I don't think he wins. Even though I thought he won, like would have won if it went to the card, but like y- if you're gonna beat a champ, you have to beat a champ. It's not you can't just like take a cheap, you
Take
know,
downs and yeah,
10-9 round and be like, oh hey, I won because of a split decision. No, that don't
yeah.
fly,
No, I don't. I agree with you there, man. Yeah,
But
you got to put the boots to him.
I mean, if you have a legitimate like good fight where it does come down to the technical aspects of it,
Yeah.
I guess, one person can win over the other for sure. But if it's just kind of like a methodical fight where they go to you gotta beat the champ's gonna win every time or
Yeah.
should win every time. You know what I mean? If it's a
Yeah.
close one, it's like the who wins on a base hit, like when it's a tie at first base. Like does the base runner get the tie or does the
Right.
fielder get the tie?
Yeah, man. I agree with you. You got to put the work in because there's some that just yeah they do takedowns to get the points because that's points if you take
Mhm.
someone down. But if you take them down and they get back up, well then you shouldn't get points. You should hold them down there a little bit. Do some work.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But that's I don't like the takedown thing because some guys are jujitsu guys and they wanna be on the ground. So if a guy takes them down, they get points, but you're penalizing the guy who wants to be on the ground. I don't know. It's weird. It's a
yeah,
weird situation, you know
it's
what
a
I mean?
it's a touchy situation. Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
what you're
Some
saying,
guys
man.
prefer I mean, in jujitsu can be at both on top and bottom, but, like, some guys like it better when they're in guard, I don't know. It's just
Them jujitsu matches though, not outside the UFC actual tournaments, man. That's some heavy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The boys are rolling.
Yep. Do you know Tom Hardy does that?
Does he really?
Yeah.
No
I
shit.
saw a video of him I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Dude's good?
Al Bundy does that.
No way."
Yeah,
Does he put his hand in his pants and everything?
no, I
Signature move.
I forgot his damn name now. Shit. His real name, but everybody knows Al Bundy. But yeah, he's a
Yeah.
jujitsu guy too.
No
A lot of
way.
people like it. Yeah, because it's I
It's
took tech
wrestling, man.
well, it is. Well, it is, but it's more technical than that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because, there's matches where they have their gis on, and that's
Yep.
a different type of situation than, you know, uh, I don't wanna say tights, but you know what I'm saying, the wrestler uniform, the
Yeah, the
spandex type
singlet.
of
It's a
stuff.
singlet. Yep.
Singlet, there you go.
Yep.
So it's different, but they work, man, it's crazy.
Dude, there's nothing like getting choked out by your own clothes. Fuck.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. Well, they say, on one of our other episodes that we talked about, with the like, putting more funding towards the police force, I mean, that would be a good thing. Like some jujitsu training,
Oh,
in my
yeah.
opinion.
Yes. Martial arts training.
I took
And a lot
taekwondo
of
for a
guys
little
do.
bit. Yeah.
A lot of guys do. But no, that's huge. If you can know how to handle somebody and be able to hold them in a situation or hold them down in a situation where you're not gonna hurt them, but they're not getting out. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could
That's
put them to sleep would be a lot better than getting
yeah.
tased or shot or something.
But here's the thing though with that, the incident of the on the New York bus or New York subway thing, that dude that just died from uh, a US Marine,
Okay.
a guy was causing an issue on the bus or on the
Sure.
subway.
Okay.
A US Marine, of course it was a white guy and a black guy. The US Marine puts the guy in a chokehold to like stop him from doing whatever it was he was doing. Now, mind you, there was other people around who were helping this other guy
Okay.
who were of mixed races. So it wasn't just the one dude, but it was the one dude who put him in the headlock. It was a guillotine basically type thing.
Right.
The dude passed out and they immediately went into like when somebody passes out in jujitsu, you usually grab their feet, lift their feet up, get the
Oh, get the
blood flow
blood.
back to,
Yep.
started doing all that stuff. Well, the guy didn't come to and he died.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't hear about this.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So, okay. So this whole thing happened. And then, um, I don't know where it went from there. It kind of like left the news media that I was reading about on it. So like I don't
Okay.
know if anything happened from it, but um I know he was in court for it,
For
for
killing the guy probably?
manslaughter or
Yeah, oh,
something like that.
perfect.
But yeah,
Fucking bullshit, man.
dude, it was the dude was like the mainstream media spun it off as this, "Oh, he's a nice guy who does, like, Michael Jackson impersonations and stuff
Okay.
in the streets." But then, like, there's just tons and tons and tons of footage of him harassing people on the subway, like, in their face. You can tell he's totally coked out, whatever the fuck he's on, I don't know, drugs, and just a nuisance and a pain in the ass, and I'm sure it makes people uncomfortable,
Oh
you know.
shit, yeah, I wouldn't appreciate that.
Right. Everybody's so like, "Oh, my feelings and shit." Well, what about the people who have to deal with that when all they're trying to do is get home from work or go to work on the
Yeah,
subway, you know?
man.
They have a right to have a clean, free ride on the way, you
Right.
know, without having to deal with someone in their face. But yeah,
So
anyway, yeah, that was, I don't know, a couple months ago, I think.
yeah, or maybe I did hear about it. Maybe.
Ah, you had to have. I
I
felt like
must
that
have,
was kind of
man.
like a big.
Yeah, it might have. Well, there was a few things that were happening all along that just kind of stick out for a minute and then they're gone. And you don't hear about them,
Mhm.
you know. But yeah, okay. Well, when it comes to a color situation, it's more portrayed, I guess, which is unfortunate.
It is.
But still, it could have ended a lot worse than that. Could have been a weapon involved. I mean, I just feel that's.
Mhm.
I guess you're always gonna have them 1 in 1,000 instances that it just uh,
Yeah.
the luck of the draw, I guess, in a
Right.
sense.
Yeah, the wrong place, wrong time or whatever, but
But still, I think that'd be a better way to handle situations. And normally, if somebody gets tangled up that doesn't know what they're doing, they're not gonna, okay, 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 back
yeah.
off or you got me.
Yep.
I tap.
Right.
Yeah,
But, we go back to the respect thing, like, respect people around you. Like, people don't want you in your face all the time.
yeah. Your
They
personal
don't want.
space.
Yeah, you know, and I know people wanna legalize drugs and stuff like that, but shit, look at some of the damage it does too, you know? It just, I don't know.
Well, they did in some places. I know where the hell was this? They legalized like all the shit, heroin, cocaine,
Mhm.
and actually after a while, it all went down
Did it?
because people could see. I mean, could you imagine showing, let's just say, kids in school? Remember when we used to have like the program,
Yeah.
like it was a drug thing where they
Yep.
would teach us about drugs. Now let's show them video footage of actually somebody coming withdrawing from heroin,
Right.
it's freaking out, throwing up, screaming, crying, whatever the whole process is. Let's show them the real stuff, the real shit that happens, and I believe that's kind of what ended up taking place. Okay, so you want to go do heroin or some hard drugs? Go ahead. And then that was starting to be seen as holy shit. That person just lost. They lost their family. They lost their money. They lost their job. Now they're
They
living in their
lost their
car.
teeth.
Yeah, they're losing. There's a meth problem. That's a
Yeah.
big situation now. So I mean, you get to see it rather than it's all hidden,
Mhm.
right? I mean, people have been doing drugs for long, long periods of time. It's not nothing that's not known
And I'm
or
not saying all
unknown.
drugs are bad, but
Right.
the ones that make the people go out in the subway dressed up like a rodeo clown, you know,
Yeah.
standing there doing, like, this whole lean thing.
There was did I tell you this? Or one time when we had went to the store, there was a family outside in the main driveway going to the mall, we'll say, and they were holding up a sign that says, I have no money, we're out of gas, right? And I immediately feel bad for that. Like my
Right.
heart, right? Like that's the type of person I am. I felt bad. I wanted to give them some money. And then someone had said, well, just take a look here. Look at the vehicle that they're in. It's actually way newer than what we're driving,
Yeah.
right? And I know there's been a lot of scam situations that happen, especially with phone calls. Actually, my grandmother had got a phone call one day with someone sounding like my son. Now, my grandma's up there in age,
Mhm.
and wanted $5,000. Basically, he got in some trouble saying he broke his nose, so he sounded different. So this person's pretending to be my son.
Mhm.
Broke my nose, got in trouble, crashed the car. I need $5,000 and you need to bring it to me. And like my grandma was freaking out to the point where it's like, oh, she's gonna have a heart attack here. She calls my aunt. They go. I mean, it was a big deal, man. And I went to the house and I found the number and I called the number back and they answered and it was somebody foreign
Sure.
sounding, and I said, "What are you doing calling this number?" And what do you mean? What do you mean? And it's like, I'm gonna get the police involved, pal, and we're gonna find you and we're gonna get you.
Yeah.
But just trying to scam her to drop some money off at a certain location or wire me some money.
Right.
Like that stuff happens, and unfortunately, elderly folk fall for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they do. It's funny story too is, I was in Texas. Yes, Texas. I think I was in Galveston, and I'm walking into a restaurant. I was working down there, and this guy pulls up on this bike. He's like, "Hey guys, how's it doing?" I'm making conversation, whatever. And he's like, "Where are you all from?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm Wisconsin." "Oh yeah, I can tell by the Packer hat." I was wearing a Packers hat. And he's like, what part of Wisconsin?" "Oh, Peshtigo, you know." "Oh yeah, the fire, I know, I heard all about the fire, whatever." It's like, "Oh, you know about that?" I'm like, "That's cool, the smart guy."
Yeah,
And then he asked for money. And I'm like, "Hold on a minute. Me, I'm an athlete, I bike, I run, all the stuff." I take a look at his bike and I called him out right there. I'm like, "Dude, you're riding a $2,000 bicycle. How about you sell your bike if you need money that bad?"
yeah, buy a cheaper one.
I'm like, "What are you asking me for money?" He put this sob story. He's like, "I rode all the way down here from wherever the hell it was. I can't even remember, Illinois or something." I'm like, "What? I lost my house and I lost my wife and this and that." And it's just like, I don't go get a job. I
Yeah,
don't like what? Why are I don't
a
know.
lot of jobs out there available right now.
The first thing, like you said, you feel bad for people who are asking for money with signs and stuff. I feel bad too, but I feel bad that they're even out there.
They got in
Like,
that spot.
I don't
Yeah,
feel bad that they don't have money because some people, yeah, they need the money or they need money. They through circumstances that they just couldn't control, have been put in a situation that are not good.
yeah, right.
However, I firmly believe that many people put themselves in situations that they can control. It's just they made the wrong decisions that led them to a situation like that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, no, I feel. Well, do you believe in willpower? Do you feel strongly? Like, what's your thoughts on having like the will,
Yeah.
right?
No,
Like
it
it,
is. As
like
an athlete, I mean,
addiction.
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta fight through. Yeah, in other circumstances, but like on the topic of people put themselves in there. So like, I don't. I guess I don't understand addiction. I've never really had an issue with anything that I know of. I've been disciplined, like you said, as an athlete. I used to eat very clean, very healthy, very
Mhm.
particular at certain times. Like I still like when noon comes around, that's lunchtime. Everything else
Sure.
stops. I got, you know what I mean, and I eat my lunch. So I'm disciplined, and it's the will. But I've never, yeah, I don't understand because I see people like we'll say for drinking. A lot of people can go overboard real quick and then they turn into alcoholics. And,
Mhm.
I've witnessed that where they drink themselves to where they're pissing themselves.
Yeah.
Like
No,
that's,
I
I
know
don't understand.
alcoholism firsthand, man. My dad was an alcoholic. So, like, as a kid, that's how I grew up seeing that shit. It wasn't good,
Yeah.
very, very verbally now, before we go further with this, my dad was my hero, like, hands down. 'Cause it's a long story, but he was an alcoholic his whole life, pretty much, and, verbally abusive, like, my childhood was good, but it wasn't perfect. I mean, I dealt with a lot of things that some kids shouldn't have to deal with, and I'm sure many people have dealt with far worse, you know, but, um, a lot of things led up to a situation where it was shit or get off the pot, like, he had to get help,
Yeah.
and he did, and he actually became a, drug and alcohol counselor. So, like, completely 180'd, right?
Yeah,
Turned his
that
whole life around. So, I mean, that's huge, and there's a lot more to the story that ties in all the way up until, the day he passed, but, like, it was alcoholism is that's a beast, man. It's a real beast, and there's different kinds. It's not just one kind. You can get abusive people, like, physically, you can get
yeah,
verbally abusive people, you
yeah,
can get the people who love you, "I love you, man," like,
yeah, yeah,
those kind of people, like, it goes all directions, you know?
yeah. No,
So every situation is different.
I know it's an issue, like, for people. Yeah, it's everybody's different, but I just don't understand it. Like, on the topic of they put themselves in that predicament, and, like, obviously, that's good that your dad did that, and I'm
Mhm,
sorry all that shit took place, but he fixed it. Like, he stepped up and he handled it, right?
mhm.
I
It's a
guess
brain thing, man. It
yeah.
really is. The chemicals, at least the way my dad was explaining it to me, your brain changes when you put those substances in your body. Some people, it changes right away and it becomes one of those things where you caffeine, most addictive drug on the planet.
Oh, yeah, hands down.
Try and stop if you drink energy drinks, if you drink coffee every day, stop once. You'll know exactly what it means to be an addict. You would. Not, like, exactly as far as that, like, it's not the same as, like, doing alcohol or hard drugs or whatever, but you feel the urge to, like, if you stop doing drinking energy drinks, you drive by a gas station, you wanna pull in there and go get one. Like, you just have the urge to, like,
Yeah,
"I shouldn't get it, but, oh, well, I'm gonna do it anyway." You know what I mean?
right.
It's just
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
those things where it's, like, second nature, like, "I have to go get it. I have to go get one," to get that caffeine rush, and it's like I said, it's not the same because it's not as corruptive as alcohol or other drugs, but
yeah. Yeah,
and
I
yeah, there
guess
again, like you said, show people what it means when people are going through withdrawal, like, withdrawal from alcohol kills you. It's I think it's one of the only drugs out there that a withdrawal from alcohol can kill you.
yeah, I believe you're right. It's tr yeah, I'm pretty sure
So,
you're
like
right,
and
and
so
I know
people
that's
who think that alcoholism, "Oh, it's just drinking," it's not, man, it's extremely dangerous, you know?
yeah, I get right, it is. It's the worst of it because it affects like, a lot of people think marijuana is a terrible drug or it's this bad thing, which it's truly not.
Right.
Like, alcohol is bad, I mean, you get in your car, how many people, "Well, have a few and they drive?" I mean,
Mhm.
that shit happens all the time, right?
Yep.
Or
I
the
know a
I
lot of
just
people who've been killed in alcohol-related vehicle accidents.
yeah, yeah,
Lots of them.
it's just it's like you should I don't know, I guess I've never been to that point in the brain, I guess I knew how to shut it off if I've had one too many,
Right.
right? It's like, "Okay,
And
it's time to stop."
and
Everybody's
it's
different.
yeah, and it's a weird thing, the way my dad explained it is, like, some people have that the type of brain that once you have a substance, you just need to have it. It's almost like obsessive. Like, I think most of us binge watch TV shows,
Yep,
right? Netflix, whatever, you just binge the shit out of it.
that's the
It's
new thing.
that, except with substances. And, like, some people have it, some people don't. Some people can drink and be like, "Okay, I'm good," and just be done, and it tastes good. You get that little cut the edge off a little bit, and you just whatever, I'm content where I'm at. Some people gotta have it, gotta have it, gotta have it, and it's like, after
Yeah,
work, you go grab a beer. After, whatever, you wake up in the morning, you gotta have a beer. You just whatever it is, that edge has to be cut off every day, all the time. Otherwise, you're just not normal, I guess.
Yeah, it just becomes a part of the routine
Yeah,
in
and
a
it and
sense.
it's actually a chemical change in the brain. Like you literally are a different person. Not while you're on it. You literally have changed the chemical makeup of your brain because of the substance that you're on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can see it. You can see it with people like when they're doing something, any drug, you can tell, right? Like, man, why are you so? I don't remember you being so like
Agitated?
whatever, like, yeah, agitated or like constantly looking over your shoulder or like, paranoid, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
just you can tell when people are on something and there's just a chemical imbalance somewhere.
Yeah, I've heard some interesting stories when I was incarcerated there. I had to take
Hmm.
anger management classes for my situation, which I wasn't an angry person.
Right.
But there was some
Are you kidding
guy
me? You seem so angry right now. Oh,
yeah,
jeez.
I had some guys in the group that were actually meth on, like they were bad. Like we heard stories, they were up for 3 weeks straight, just carrying guns around.
How the hell can you do that?
I don't know, man, but you hallucinate, you see shit, you hear stuff. I mean, I couldn't believe the stories that some of these guys were in, and they just needed that. I don't know. I don't know what they were searching for or what it does for anybody, but apparently it just makes you alert as hell all the time.
That's insane.
Yeah. Um,
Hey,
and
Zeeb.
a lot of people were in there also. I couldn't believe more than one time. Like this second time back,
Right.
third time back, and I'm thinking, man, this is
Well, is it like Shawshank Redemption where they just become
yeah.
so acclimated to prison life that when they get out, they're just like, "I need to go back."
Well, yeah,
So they
man,
fuck it up
it
on
changes
purpose
you.
almost.
Like I said, I turned that whole experience into something positive the best I could.
Right.
I got my GED, took some other courses. I just tried to stay busy, you know what I'm saying? And
Oh, nice burp, Zeeb. Did you hear that?
yeah.
That
Was that
was
you
Zeeby.
though?
No, Zeeby must have just got done eating. You eat?
But the stories people go through and the addiction and the drugs in there, but a lot of guys were in there for child support. And that's another thing I don't understand.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
because it's like this is the last place you should be. You should be out there working, taking
Yeah,
care of your kids. Because that's one thing I don't understand is how people can walk away from their kids.
right.
You
Dude,
brought
child support, don't even get me started on that.
right?
That is the most BS system,
I agree.
most BS system on the planet.
Well, it is to the point. I guess unless because there's some people that can co-parent just fine, and that's awesome. It's a
Mhm.
hard thing to do depending on the situation. I realize that,
Right,
right? But to be put in being incarcerated for not paying child support, in a way that would make things way easier is it should just be in an account. A certain percentage should go into account for the kid for when they're 18, like a kind of like a savings trust, right?
right,
Rather than, um, but I couldn't believe that. It's like, really, this is insane. You should be out there taking care of your kids because that kid didn't ask to be brought here.
right.
That person, that
You
being,
take responsibility for
yeah.
what you've done. Yeah.
So it blows my mind when people even just walk away from their kids.
Mhm. No, yeah, that shouldn't happen, and those type of people that are doing that and not paying their child support and stuff, yeah, they should be punished. I don't know if prison time is that, but garnish their wages or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, do the child support stuff, man, that is such a crock. I remember dealing with that in, I was working full time, had my house, um, I think I had a vehicle payment, not much, and a cell phone. I didn't have internet, I didn't have TV, I didn't have shit, okay? I think I was making like 12, $13 an hour or something like that, um, for 20-year-old guy, like a
Yeah,
19-year-old
yeah.
guy, 20-year-old guy, that's not terrible. I mean,
No.
it's not great, but you gotta remember that's 20 years ago. Like, I was, so what's 13 bucks an hour? What is that weekly? I don't even really know. Not much.
Mm-mm.
Four or 500 bucks a week, maybe. Um, I had to pay, was it like close to $80 a week? Something like that.
A good portion of it.
You know what I mean? And then it that's a lot.
Yeah. No, yeah.
And keep in mind, like, the other parent didn't have a job at the time. She was going to school, so, like, why am I being punished for working, having a house, and being able to provide?
Hmm.
And I don't know. I don't wanna get into it because I don't wanna, like, downgrade the other side, but from the standpoint of where I saw it, like, it
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
fair, you know what I
No,
mean?
right. Well, the system wasn't fair at one time. I think it's starting to get better
Is it?
from
Okay.
from
I
my
don't
s
know what it's like.
I haven't had to do child support. I was pretty fortunate because considering the situation and then going through the divorce, um, I didn't have to, uh, take care of that.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't wanna say I wanna be as real as possible, but I don't wanna say things to I don't wanna downgrade someone like you were saying. I don't wanna
Right.
do that. But my situation, I was better for me than the other situation. Even
And I
standing
know,
Yeah,
yeah, I know when Logan was, like, 8 or 9 or 10, somewhere in that ballpark, um, I saw him half the time. It was back and forth, like, a week to week, and our schedule always it changed quite a bit, but, yeah, it ended up getting washed away. So, for half of his 18 years, I didn't pay child support either, and, it was mutual on both sides, like, I'll
yeah,
take care of 'em on my side, you take care of 'em on your side, good to go.
yeah, and it wasn't fair. My
No.
senior year of high school, um, I missed a lot of school because she was pregnant with our daughter, so I would go to the appointments and stuff. I was trying to do the right thing, and I was keeping my grades up and working part-time, and they took some of my credits away, and I wasn't gonna be able to graduate, so I we had a meeting with the board of the school, and they basically I was shit out of luck because I was the guy.
Right. Yep.
So I gave them all my books and walked out, and I dropped out of school, and then I got a full-time position.
Yeah, I
But then
remember
I
the day I walked into the child support agency to just discuss something. So, like, had my house, okay, I was working full time, I was going to college, um, and I was talking to them about the whole situation, and I'm like, "I'm going to be quitting my job because I was going to school Monday through Thursday, and then I would work Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night into Monday. I would leave work, go to school, no sleep because I work
Yeah,
third shift. And then Thursday, I would work in the morning and then go to work overnight. And it was just for months. That's what I did. And obviously not sustainable
no,
whatsoever.
no,
So I went in there and I was just explaining to them what was going to happen. And I was going to rent my house out. That was going to be paid for via rent, right? So that wasn't gonna be a financial burden. I'm paid up with child support. I still had money saved. I had a lot. I wasn't worried there. It was gonna be fine. I was gonna still make payments. I had the entire office at the child support agency in one office crowded around me, basically pointing fingers at me, yelling at me that I need to bring in 10, like, I went and was trying to find a job.
yeah.
I'm like, "You
Oh,
guys aren't
references that you applied?
10 references that I applied for jobs, because seriously, what I'm doing now, going to school, is going to provide me a job, and I'm quitting a job so that way I can get my schooling done Therefore, I
Yeah,
can
so you could better
better
yourself,
myself.
better the kid.
I'm not a low life. I'm a hard worker. I do my shit. I have a plan. This is gonna work fine. I'm up to date on my support. I'm not behind. I pay every month because it automatically gets taken out of my
Yeah,
account, you know? And, like, it was, like, literally bad. I thought I was gonna have to fight my way out. Legit.
that's crazy,
And they
man.
and those are the people that will bitch and complain about men who are harassing or whatever, which I'm sure they see tons of pieces of shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So I totally understand where they're coming from. However, every circumstance is different, and they need to treat everybody like an actual individual and not as a lump sum low life parent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man,
No.
that day pissed me off so much. Like, holy shit. You don't even realize how mad I was when I left that place. Like, I wanted to, like, file a complaint with the president because I was so pissed off. And, like, legit,
No,
I
I
was
know,
just
man.
so mad.
And that's people going back to, like, the power thing that we've touched on before. That's people in power, right? They don't give a shit. I'm above you, and that's just the way it is. I still remember the day I got sentenced, and my attorney, after everything was done and said, and the judge said what he had to say to me and gave me my sentence, I looked at my attorney. Everybody said I was white as a ghost because I probably was, because it's like my whole world
Gone.
just fucking taken from me.
Yeah.
You know, I was. People don't really like. I obviously I was young, right? As you get older, you learn better, right? But through my whole high school career, I was dedicated, loyal, and then after school, you get married, you have children, and then your whole world gets just shook and knocked out from underneath you, right? And then now here I'm in this point in my life, like it just a snap of the fingers. That's how quick it changed.
Right.
And I looked at him and I said, "Can I speak freely now? Because I wanted to say some real shit." He's like, "I don't think that'd be a good idea." And I had two friends there that showed up, Brian and Jen. I'll never forget that. They came there for me. I look back at everyone, everyone's crying. And they take you right from there. There's no, and I just, I just wanted to, and still to this day, I would like to have a conversation. I didn't want to disrespect them.
Mhm.
I don't want to call him names. I don't want to swear. I just want him to explain to me what his thought process is on. Basically, I wasn't sorry enough for hurting other gentlemen, which, I mean, I'm glad he ended up okay,
Right.
right? But in what's in circumstance now, if you go to jury trial, right, or get judged by your peers per se, I'm sure some people would be like, well, it takes two to tango, and I agree with that. But you don't hit women, and I don't,
Right. No. No, you never should.
and in my mind, when I was single and I would went through my partying stage and having fun, I would always make sure if there was a girl I was talking to, she didn't have a ring on her finger. Always. Always. That's a line you don't cross with someone.
Right.
And yeah, they can take it off and not show. Sure, but I mean, if I did what I had to do, if you were with somebody or involved, it's a no go.
Mhm.
You don't interact with that person. But I don't know. I don't know how the law is just a funky thing, man. It's the power and the. I mean, now I probably thank him for giving me that sentence because, like I said, I learned a lot. I know how to
Yeah.
read people a lot better. I just bettered myself. And that was how long ago now?
Right.
But it's a memory that I'll never forget and a
And
time that
maybe
I
that's
went
what he
through.
was thinking.
Yeah, it could be. Could be. But a crime of passion, as what they used to call it, doesn't exist. That's not a thing. It doesn't matter. And that's what bothers me. That bothers me. Right?
Hmm.
Because you're supposed to swear. You're supposed to raise your right hand and swear to God that you'll tell the truth and all that stuff.
Right.
Well, if you read in that book, they used to stone people that did that. They
Tell
would
the truth?
no, that had committed adultery.
Oh,
They would
sure.
bring them out in the town square and they would stone them. And I know it
Well, didn't they, like,
sounds.
carve an A on him or make him wear an A too, or is that just folklore?
Well, that part of it's folklore, but I
You're
mean,
a
like, yeah.
you're a witch.
But no, literally, they would. They would. It was a crime, man. You know. So it's to me, it's like yeah. I don't know. What the fuck do I know? But that's where I was at with that. So you don't make me swear on a Bible and to God, and then you don't follow the real, we'll say, laws that were put in place
Right.
per se.
And the ones that were in the Bible, you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the codes that we're supposed to follow.
The book of morals.
I don't know. I was trailing off on that but
No, I hear you though.
it's an interesting things that we all go through.
Life, man. Each one of us have their own. That's what's kind
Mm.
of cool though. Like it's kind of neat how people can meet up in a certain spot, go through life in two different directions and take two different paths, but meet at the same area. It's
Yeah,
kind of cool.
yeah. The hindsight of things happen for a reason, right?
Yeah, there you go. You can bring it back to that.
Hey,
And
you never
I
know,
can't
man.
say I don't fully disagree with it either. I mean, still
No,
hindsight, but
right.
but it is weird and it's very yeah, the coincidence of either two people meeting at a certain spot or getting back together and like, reconnecting is something that's pretty impressive or just anything. Obviously we're from small towns, so it's not as hard, but still, there's a lot of circumstances where it's like, what a coincidence that is.
Yeah. No, I know, dude. I know. I'm glad that we started doing this.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
fun, man.
it's a good thing. Good thing. A lot of deep discussions, a lot of things, bring the light, touch on. It's good.
Oh yeah, man.
It's good.
It's kind of healing too a little bit. You can get some stuff off your chest or,
Yeah,
just have a conversation.
it is.
We say it all the time,
Right.
right? Just have a conversation.
I think there's something good about the therapy like that.
Well, yeah, because you can voice your opinion and then you can have somebody else tell you why they agree or why they could disagree, or maybe it'll change your mind on it, or maybe it won't. Maybe it will make you dig in even further. But we've lost that being able to like have a conversation and have the willingness to change your mind if you're not right,
Yeah, being
right?
open-minded about it.
There's too many people who have an idea about something and like that is the way it is, and I'm guilty of it too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like there's things that I believe in that I'm like, okay, no, I don't think the opposite of what I believe is even remotely close and even fathomable. It's just not. How can anyone think about that?
Right.
Or why is that even an option? But some people might make a good argument for it.
Yeah, it's interesting too. I like the different perspectives thrown in it depending on the topic. Even between you and I, through
Yeah.
recent ones we've had, it's good. Yeah, I never thought there was nothing wrong. Once, like, some guys don't want to open up or talk about their feelings, or they don't feel, they're too masculine, or that's not the man thing to do. But I disagree with that. I think it's good. It'd be good for anyone. And I've watched it and I've been a part of it because I was a part of groups with some violent people.
Mhm.
And then watching them open up and finally break through, it's like, it touches you.
Yeah. Yeah, the definition of a man isn't somebody who doesn't you know, cry or have in touch with or get in touch with his feelings for anything. I mean, when it's an everyday thing, like, okay, let's have our afternoon cry session. That's different. But like, we go through stress just like everybody else.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
we
Gotta
don't
let it
deal
out.
with it the same all the time. Most men, I think, just hold it in, right? But
Yeah.
No,
I
it's good to release a little bit once in a while just to get yourself back to center.
Yeah. Have you ever tried meditating? Have you ever read it or tried different types of meditation
Uh,
techniques?
like, not meditation per se, where I'm, like, sitting in a quiet room just, like, Zen mode, but I have my things, you know?
Yeah.
It's weird, like, when Logan was sick, like, I would go take a shower, and I would, like my wife makes fun of me because I take long showers, but, dude, I will sit in there, and that's where I think, man,
Really?
because it's my alone time. So, like, if I go in there, like, I can just zone out, and my brain will just go, and I can, like, I solve problems, I figure it out.
That's
If there's a
interesting, though.
situation in life that is not easy, right? That's where
Yeah.
I can map it out in there, for whatever reason. That's just kinda where
That's
it's
cool.
secluded from people, and
Yeah, well, it's the bathroom. It's supposed to be
yeah,
the private personal time, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I pick on the kids for taking long showers. I get on them. It's like, "Come on, Imma shut the water off." You keep
yeah,
in there, the steam is just pouring out from under the door. It's like, "Well, you're just in there playing."
yeah, yeah.
You know?
No, man, maybe they're thinking, dude, maybe they're thinking, maybe that's their
I
spot
don't know.
too.
I guess I never thought of that like that. I don't yeah. I just like the early morning before everyone's up. That's kinda have tried meditating, closing my I've tried different things, and it's hard to quiet the mind. It
That's
is
right.
fucking hard.
It is. That's why, like, dead silence is so hard for me when to do that for that, because, like, that's what the shower, you got the sound of the shower and the water hitting you and stuff like that, but it kind that noise blocks everything else out, and I can just let my mind do what it needs to do then, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, it's hard to just shut it off and just so I've tried light music, like rain falling is very soothing. I like that.
Mhm.
That's good. But like yeah, and there's different styles and forms to try and there's other things listen to your breath and 5 deep breaths and count to 10 and all that stuff,
Sure.
depending on the situation. But yeah, I just was curious.
Yeah, man, the shower, best meditation area ever.
Cool.
Actually, when I redid my bathroom, I, like, built the shower. I don't have, like, a tub surround or anything. It's, like, all tile,
I know.
and,
It's awesome.
yeah, yeah, and it's big. I could probably put 5, 6 people in there if we wanted to, but, um, no, there's a bench in there that you can sit down too, so if you just wanted to sit, you could just
That's
throw the
cool, man.
shower in your face and just sit there and
I used to like to light candles, a lot of candles.
oh, yeah?
Mhm.
Set the mood a little bit?
Well, just I don't know, I just like the candle, it's crazy, I actually used to when I was single, I would put candles in my room and I'd fall asleep, that's how I'd go to bed at night, with the candles
Like
burning.
you didn't burn the
People think
place
I'm cra I
down.
know, everybody says that, man, but hey, I'm still here and it's so soothing. Obviously, I didn't have a candle around something that would catch on fire, right?
Yeah,
Like, there was nothing near it at all, but I would put on some really, like, relaxing meditational style music and watch the candle light flicker and the shadows and
yeah, no,
it was
candles are cool, I
peaceful.
like candles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are gonna think he is fucking nuts, man. No, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm not telling you to
Right.
try it. But I
You ever
was
get
so
those woodwick candles, the ones that crackle when they're lit?
oh
That's
no.
kinda cool. Those are
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but no, I never now I put on it's crazy with technology, right? We put on a fireplace scene with wood crackling on
Mm,
the TV, and
okay.
that's very soothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting stuff that we all do, huh?
We all got our things, man.
Yeah.
It's whatever makes you feel good.
But yeah. Well, yeah, this was a good one, man. This was
Hell
another good
yeah.
one. Good one. We're just off the cuff and letting it out.
That's right.
Letting it out. Well, guys, I
Yeah.
hope you enjoyed our little conversation here. Got some insight again and just real uncensored conversations, man. That's what we're doing here. Some discussions. Hopefully you can relate to some of these.
Yeah.
We're opening
Some of
up
them
and
are some in-depth stuff. Sometimes we're venting, sometimes we're talking nonsense, but
yeah.
It's all
It's
just
all
letting it rip, having a free flowing conversation. So
that's right. Run it. Well,
having a good time.
subscribe, hit the like on Spotify. We appreciate it. Check us out on YouTube. Share it.
Share.
Tell your friends. Jump on board, man.
Leave a comment. We'll get back to you.
Yep. Yes, we will. And everyone be easy. Until next time.
See you later.
Peace.